The Saint Lucia Hot Couture 2014 was a special one for the Compton family. A daughter of former Prime Minister Sir John Compton was a featured designer. Her first big event since her sister Nina Compton had created history in the Top Chef competition on Bravo, and now the attention was shifting to the younger sister, Fiona Compton.
Daughter of the soil from Saint Lucia, Fiona Compton, Paradise Prince featuring Membet bags.
Can you describe to us just a few seconds before you actually come on? What does that feel like?
Well, I mean, it's a bit nerve-wracking, but I think it's not about when I come on personally, but when each model comes on, you critique every small detail about how you could have made it better, and but it also felt good too, because the thing is, with me and Paradise Prince has been less than a year I've been doing this, and this has been the biggest show that I've done. I've done stuff in London, I've done stuff for Nevis Fashion Weekend, but this has been the biggest full show that I've done. I did 24 pieces, so it felt really good to see everything come together. And I worked with Membet, who's a Saint Lucian designer as well. She makes handmade bags with leather and African print, and we coordinated this thing together, and it just was so nice to see how it married so well. Each piece was distinct in their own right, but they went together well, and to collaborate with a local designer, it felt really good to do that.
Obviously, there'll be quite a bit of scrutiny and focus on you because, I mean, with your sister and so on and everything happening at this time, did this put additional pressure on you that there's a lot more people watching you because of what has been happening?
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, I think it's like a lot of focus has come onto the families with Nina and the whole Top Chef thing, which has all been very positive. Mainly, I think it has been pretty much 100% positive, and I think, but I'd like to consider myself and Nina very different, even though we are sisters and we're very close and we support each other very much, but what we do is very distinct. And Nina has been working on her trade tirelessly for years. It's not now Nina is a great chef, but it's only now people start to understand how good she is, and we're happy for that. I started to do this stuff, like I said, less than a year ago, and I just want to continue doing it, keep growing, because I'm still young in the game. I'm just starting, so that's how I feel about it.
From Saint Lucia, Shazi Chalon, Shazi International.
Describe to the audience what exactly is it that you wanted them to get from your presentation tonight?
Well, as you know, my work is always a mirror of who we are as Caribbean people. And you know, it has many different influences, our African influence, our East Indian influence, even our European influence as well. So I always try to inculcate that in whatever work that I do, and to have a dominant Caribbean, and I'm constantly searching for a Caribbean identity in my work.
Now, you mentioned earlier on you being here as a cultural attaché and the French market as well. What do we need to do now to develop this as an industry?
Well, I think we are really on our way. Actually, this is a second edition. Now that the Martiniquans have started to hear about it, we are going to try and promote it a little more at a more opportune time in the calendar year, so that people would know it's not only jazz but also fashion is part of the jazz festival. It become a main staple in the whole jazz festival.
What do we have to do to establish Saint Lucia as a capital for fashion shows?
I think it would be nice to invite some international press over. I think they would take to it. From what I've seen here, there is a lot of talent, and I know that designers or big fashion groups are always looking for new talent, and I think we have it here. And I think they would be pleasantly surprised to enjoy Saint Lucia and to discover so much talent here.
Now we have to, obviously, this is going to be continuing next year. What are some of the things that you think that we need to, the additional touches we need to add to this?
It's a bit of a shame that maybe I know Treasure was just here saying that more St. Lucians should get to see it. I think it would be really amazing if we did a show that was free to the public, so that we can see that there's talent here, and that young people, young students who can't afford to come here could see how much talent we have, and that they can be a part of it and experience it.
Okay, so my name is Curmiah Lisette St. And the name of that, I worked for Fiona Compton, designer. I modeled for Arlene as well as Queen Esther, and as well as Yanis.
Curmiah, when you got a call that you were part of this, what went through your mind?
Well, I actually came down from London when I was performing, and I contacted me about being in Hot Couture, and I had to come down and, you know, prove my skills for myself. And they were like, yep, we want you, so it was fantastic being able to take part.
Had you heard of this before?
Yes, from last year.
What did you hear about it?
That it was hot. That it was hot, even from the time of the show, after the show, all I kept hearing was Hot Couture, Hot Couture, Hot Couture. And, you know, since I'm modeling in the UK, and I'm from home, I thought, I have to I want to model for Hot Couture. So, really pleased I got to do it this year.
Huge responsibility on you this year. You're the one representing the entire semester. What does it feel like?
It was great. I knew I had to get everything right. That was pretty much the hard part, not being able to screw it up, pretty much. But I had the responsibility in being the ambassador for the show. So doing the marketing, making sure I tell everyone to be there, flirting with people to come here, begging people to come here, it was all really fun for me. But being the face and the fact that people have been giving me good comments after the show, which means I did do a good job, is pretty amazing.
Finally, Richard, the audience had a good time. What role do they have now to play in helping to support what's been happening here?
Well, they have to translate that good time into purchases. They need to come to the trunk show tomorrow. They need to follow up on the designers, appreciate them by wearing their garments, and wearing their garments means buying it. And this is a festival. This is a festival of jazz and arts. And wherever they have festivals, that is a space that this type of energy can grow. It's very burgeoning. And it belongs here. To go to jazz, you need to be stylish. And you need to be wearing Caribbean style, meeting all the Caribbean mutations of music. You know, because music and fashion and all of those things are beautiful synergies, and we have to represent us. I always say, you can't be a great artist in the Caribbean and be wearing a brand that is not from the Caribbean. I mean, people from outside probably look at us mockingly. You know, sometimes I look at some of our lead performers and they're wearing a Yankees hat and an ice hockey t-shirt and a synthetic fabric, and I say that people have to be laughing at us. You are from the Caribbean and you don't want to wear breathing fabrics, you don't want to celebrate the color where you come from. I mean, when you just look at the environment, you are eco-friendly space, celebrate that. But there's a lot of colonial thinking that we have to fight off, and fashion designers that were here, I think they are saying that in their own way. We're making our own stamp.
Congratulations tonight. It was an honor speaking with you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One of the models featured, Curmiah Lisette St. is a multi-talented model. We will hear a lot more from her in our next installment on Hot Couture 2014, along with Richard Ambrose, supremely talented actor, dancer, director, and dramatist. As we close this segment, we urge you to reflect on the words of Richard Young and to support and patronize the work of local designers as Saint Lucia seeks to build an industry from the ground up. I am Bullet Fanis, inviting you to join us again right here on Calabash Community. See you then.